Hi everyone, I'm Heather Warlick, and with me today I have Arnold Hernandez. Hi Arnold. Arnold is the national spokesperson for Sallie Mae, and he is on the road right now stopping in Oklahoma City for the Paying for College bus tour, right?
That's right.
Okay, this is a 60-city tour.
That's right, and we're definitely excited to be in Oklahoma City, and of course to be able to bring the Paying for College bus tour to the surrounding communities. As you said, we're doing a 60-city tour traveling all over the country from coast to coast, taking the important message to families all over that going to college is accessible for everyone.
For everyone. And you're kind of specifically speaking to minorities such as black people and Hispanic people, correct?
Well, I'll tell you that generally the information that we give out is for everyone to benefit. Of course, targeting the minorities across the country, definitely talking to African American students and Latinos, because they're definitely the ones that are not actually moving on to college as the majority of other races in this country. So again, we're definitely trying to reach out to those students who are not getting that information on how to pay for that college education.
And I think that you have kind of an interesting story. Arnold, was raised as kind of a migrant farm worker, right?
Absolutely. You know, as I travel around the country, I definitely share with families and students across the country that growing up the youngest of 7 in a migrant farming family, I grew up in a small town called Far in the Rio Grande Valley in the south of Texas, right on the border region with Mexico. And I always tell students a story about how my parents actually immigrated to this country in the 1950s. And when they came here, you know, the only thing my parents knew about being successful or about being somebody in this country was that they had to work hard. And that literally meant that they had to break a sweat every single day. You see, my parents actually introduced me and my siblings to work in the fields at a very young age. I tell students at the age of 9, I actually started earning a paycheck. And I realized that for parents and students, it might be difficult to understand how can a 9-year-old actually start earning a paycheck. But it's a fact. It's a reality. At the age of 9, I joined my parents picking onions and cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower and collard greens. Again, any vegetable that you can imagine, these hands have picked it. I also tell students that my parents used to actually check me and my siblings out of school every April. We used to travel cross country from South Texas to the state of Idaho, where again we were in search of field labor. And because of the lack of education my parents had, my father a 2nd grade education, my mother a 3rd grade education, this was the only type of job that they could find. So we dedicated ourselves to picking peaches and plums and cherries and apricots and apples and pears. Again, any fruit that you can imagine, these hands have picked it. Now, the reason I share this story with you and the reason I share it across the country with families is because it clearly goes to show that it doesn't matter what household income you come from. It doesn't matter what your parents do for a living. It doesn't matter what economic background you come from, what race, what ethnicity, what sex. None of that matters. The fact is, if you want to go to college and get that college education, it is possible.
And so what is it that changed for you from going from, working in the farms to deciding I'm going to go to college and I'm going to make a difference in my life?
Well, I'll tell you that I grew up in a household where my parents actually never focused on education. They never talked to us about the importance of actually doing good in high school so that one day we could actually go to college and obtain those better opportunities. Sadly but true, I got to see some of my brothers drop out of high school. I got to see some of them finish high school, but continue the same cycle of working in the fields, picking fruits and vegetables, and I knew that there was so much better out there. I wanted that greater opportunity, and I knew that going to college and getting that college education was a way to do it. I tell students, as I travel across the country and I speak to them, I tell them a saying that my father used to tell me when I was growing up, and that is, se sufre pero se aprende, which means you suffer but you learn. And the reason I share that is because my father used to tell me that all along when I was growing up. He'd pull me aside and tell me, son, you suffer but you learn. And I'll be honest, and I'll tell you that those words meant nothing to me when I was growing up, but it wasn't until I actually went to college, walked across the stage, received my college diploma, that I finally understood what my father had tried to tell me for so many years. You see, the fact was that we did suffer while growing up, but I learned that the only way out of that is to go to college and get my college education.
That's awesome. And so now Arnold is going around the country spreading the word that there are many, many options for you, no matter what your race, your ethnicity, your sex. As you said, he's giving out these free booklets, and tonight he'll be speaking at Grant High School. What time?
Tonight we will be serving dinner from 6:30 to 7,
Free
and
dinner.
The workshop will start at 7 to 8, and then we are doing the raffle for the $1,000 scholarship between 8 and 8:30.
Great.
So again, we're encouraging all the communities here in Oklahoma to definitely come out and more than just take the valuable information on actually how to research the free money for scholarships.
Right.
We want them to really get that hands-on experience. We have our are paying for College Buster. We're allowing individuals, parents, and students to come on the bus afterwards. And if they don't have internet access at home, come on, join us on the bus, and we'll definitely have you set up there for at least getting that information on the FAFSA application. We want parents and students to get familiar with what the free application for federal student aid is all about.
And then also you can go to these websites. We have the www.blackcollegedollars.org
or the latinocollegedollars.org. Once again, and what these are directories of every single scholarship around the country targeting whether it's a Latino student or the African American student. Scholarship is on these directories.
And there's hundreds of them in here.
Absolutely.
So there's no excuse for you to not at least apply, right?
Yeah. I also want to mention that in this specific collection called Latino College Dollars, for those students who perhaps out in the community that can benefit from the information, we realize that there's students out there who perhaps are not legal in this country, who are not legal permanent residents. We do want to make them aware that there is hope out there to pay for their college education through the private scholarships. And in this collection, Latino College Dollars, they can definitely find those specific scholarships targeting the Latino who, again, is not a legal permanent resident of this country.
And, Arnold, we only have a couple of minutes left, but what I'd really love for you to do, I know that educating parents is just as important as educating students as far as this topic goes. And, as you know, a lot of Hispanic parents maybe don't speak as much English as their kids do. So would you please, speak in Spanish and tell us the same thing that we just talked about, and just kind of let everybody know what they can do in Spanish.
Okay. Bueno, claro que sí, estamos aquí en el estado de Oklahoma. Realmente, orgullosamente, estoy aquí repartiendo esta información para toda nuestra gente de habla hispana que quizás pueda beneficiarse, que quizás tienes entusiasmo de mandar a los hijos a la universidad, pero no sabe cómo conseguir los fondos para hacerlo. Realmente es lo que estamos haciendo aquí, repartiendo información como este folleto llamado Latino College Dollars, que es un directorio donde cualquier hispano en este país puede ir a la página de internet que es www.latinocollegedollars.org y conseguir esas becas, ese dinero gratuito que puede contribuir a mandar a los hijos a la universidad. So, realmente, si tienen algunas otras dudas o preguntas, también pueden ir a thesallymayfund.org. Allí tenemos muchos recursos a donde pueden obtener esa información acerca de cómo prepararse para mandar a esos hijos que realmente por tantos años quizás hemos inculcado la importancia de la educación, pero ahora llega el punto donde se gradúan de la preparatoria, tenemos las preocupaciones, ahora cómo vamos a pagar la universidad. Eso es lo que estamos haciendo aquí. So, realmente esperamos que usen estos recursos y se puedan beneficiar.
Well said. Okay, folks. Well, you heard it from the expert, Arnold Hernandez. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Great. Thank you for having us.
It's great work that you're doing. So for more information, you can go to thesallymayfund.org.
That's right.
And you can also read our story in Viva Oklahoma. So for Viva Oklahoma, I'm Heather Warlick. Thanks for watching.